Hi everybody, welcome to Zim24news. Today my special guest for this exclusive interview is Mr. William Martin Chinyanga. Welcome, Mr. Chinyanga.
Welcome, thank you very much.
We're glad to have you on the show.
Yes.
Who is Mr. Chinyanga?
Mr. Chinyanga is right here. But Mr. Chinyanga's character is what you want to hear. Character and the effect of what he does in the community, in the society, who is actually him. That's what you want to hear. Is it
That's
so?
right, yes.
Okay. So yes, Mr. Chinyanga, I'm a person who has got a passion for Zimbabwe. I'm a person who has got a passion for what we call human rights. I'm a human rights activist. Some people, they used to call me self-claimed human rights activist, and I don't even understand why. So they say I am a I said, but about what are the other human rights activists? Why are they not self-claimed? It was like a struggle to understand that. So I am not a solicitor, whereby I understand law, but I am an ordinary citizen, and I understand the pressure of the heart. I understand the pressure of someone sleeping without eating food in the house. I understand this pressure not in a religious way, but in physical and in spiritual.
Right. And how long have you been?
Since when I grew up, for the past 20 years, I've been in activism, human rights activism. I got a lot of series which are and episodes which have happened through my hands as a self-claimed human rights activist. When I say self-claimed human rights activist, for instance, one day I went to the Zimbabwe embassy. I called people, let's go to the Zimbabwe embassy, let's go and expose the CIOs who are in Britain. They should be in Zimbabwe, not in Britain. And no one listened to me. And I went to the embassy. I think with somebody who came, he held the camera. And I talked to the CIO, I said, come out of the embassy. Why are you killing Zimbabweans? Why are you abducting Zimbabweans? Why are you doing such? And I remember that day, many CIOs who were there, they left the embassy with newspapers closed. And they left the embassy with different directions. And it was all in the exposures of the camera. And many people were saying, oh, this self-styled human rights activist is doing this thing. It is not that they were afraid of my physical, or like I can beat them. Maybe it was that they had respect the words which I said to them, sing in them, that they were even shy to show their faces to me.
And that gives you huge satisfaction for
exposing. So I believe I believe in an economy which is good. For economy to be good, there should be a variation in the change of the state. So our economy of Zimbabwe is static. It is unmovable. It is stagnant just because the government is not varying. There was one time when the government varied. It was like they called it Ganu government. So we had Changrai there and Mugabe, Changrai being in the government and everything like that. There was a motion in the economy. We find even artists from UK, from America, they were coming to Zimbabwe to sing, and everyone, we found a flock of people from Nigeria, from Africa, people from South Africa, big to Zimbabwe. There was some value. Zimbabwean women were in the market like, I want to marry a Zimbabwean woman so that I get a citizen of Zimbabwe. I want to marry a Zimbabwean man so that I get a citizen of Zimbabwe. I was so happy in that era. This is actually the theory of economics. So one thing I want to tell you, who Chinyanga really is. What does a government stand for? A government stands for the people. That's why everyone said, get involved in politics so that you get the change which you want. Right. What does that mean? In a government, if there, the people who don't care about the government change or everything are the bourgeoisie, are the people who have got markets, people who have got businesses. They don't care. As long as they bribe the government, as long as they don't pay taxes, this is what happened in Zimbabwe. They stay. They don't care about what is, even they don't go for elections.
Why do you think this is? Where do you think it stemmed from? Why?
That's what I'm saying. This happens because the government stands for poor people. The government needs to support the people who don't have employment, elders, old people, who have got children who are not supported at all. It's not a matter of like, they should go to old people's homes. They should go to orphanage home. It's not about that. It's about these people. They've got also society. They want to stay in the society with the people. And the government need to pay benefits, need to support, need to pay school fees for all the children. And we say we are living in a good economy. That's what the government should get. Everyone is sleeping after they have eaten a meal. Everyone should have a meal. Everyone should have clothes to wear. That doesn't happen in Zimbabwe. People live like goats. In Britain, we have got that structure whereby the government caters for this. And I want to tell you thing. Let's say Zimbabwe has got a population of 18 million. 17 million will be the poor people who don't have employment, who don't have anything. And the government should cater for them. 1 million are those rich people with businesses. Even here in England, it's the same. How many? 49 million of people in Britain. Only 10 million have employment, have got this, but there is no difference. The 39 million are catered for by the government, are given a house, are given shelter, house and shelter, are given food. The children have got free meal at school, there is free education.
So even though they're poor, the government is supporting them.
That's a structure which I stand for. Why is it there? Why are my people?
But many people would say it's because of the sanctions. In terms of Zimbabwe, we don't have the infrastructure because they simply don't have the money. Issues with electricity, there's so many things, maybe because they've inherited the country with these problems after independence or
maybe you don't know Zimbabwe. When the 1980 independence came, these guys were given the country in a good shape. The pound, the Zimbabwean dollar, was equivalent to £1. It was like this in 1980. They were given the country in a good shape. Everyone had infrastructure. There were benefits for poor people. Hospitals were full of medicine. Everything was there. Zimbabwe was like little Britain from 1980 and going on. I used to live in that Zimbabwe. I remember one woman who went on videoing what they call forgotten child of Zimbabwe. She was like mimicking how Zimbabwe was in 1980. Just after independence, how beautiful it was, and it's no longer there. The Zimbabwe which you see now has got a lot of potholes, the roads, the people are in damn poverty. It is not even because of sanctions. We had a gun government there, Changra, and things were alright. It is because of the dictators who rig elections, who does coup d'etats, who don't care of their people. And when I say it out, that I see as I am an intellectual, I'm more given in intelligence as I am a physicist. So I try to direct people that this is false, this is true. This type of people like me, there are very few, even in my country. One person who was like that was Zimbabwean, and she was killed. She had a certain vision for the country. Another second person who was like that was Mugabe, Joshua Nkomo. They saw that and they voiced for it. And they managed to tell people. And when these people, Mugabe and Nkomo, they were messing up, somebody rose again. It was Morgan Tsvangirai. He said the constitution, this and this, this and this. And he was there as the voice of the people. And he is the person who opened even my eyes. That, oh, I used to think the government can live forever. I used to think Mugabe can live forever, ruling our country. And Tsvangirai said, this person is the one who is causing university students to do strikes. He's the one who is causing this, that you don't have food in the house. He's the one. Because if they do what we call democracy is a system which is accepted by the world. And democracy is a system which the world has got confidence in. What is the confidence of the world? Investors. When there's democracy, investors know that their money, their properties are safe in a country. So the economy will be movable. Not this immortal economy. This static economy, stagnant economy, which is caused because of dictatorship, because of rigging. Poverty is occurring in Africa, not in Zimbabwe alone, Uganda, Cameroon. It is because of these dictators, and I stand up for that. I stand up to say, how can we remove these dictators? They are very difficult to remove. And I always say, these dictators, they can only be removed by military, which is now caused by NATO, EU, Britain, the way they did in Libya, the way they did in Iraq.
So
And they can also be removed by an uprising of the people, like the Arab uprising, lockdowns, siege. This is the way to remove dictators. The unworkable way of removing dictators is to impose sanctions in a country.
So sanctions don't work in your...
Don't work. Is to do elections. They don't work. They hide under the cover of elections. They pretend that elections were done. So that the elections, they give them power to rule forever.
So everything, the elections cannot be trusted. The sanctions don't work.
Don't work. Sanctions don't work. The reason is that sanctions are affecting poor people. They are the oppressed ones. They are starving forever. No medication in hospital. Nothing in the shops. The roads are poor infrastructure. Nowhere to live. What is happening in Zimbabwe? Someone built their house somewhere in Harare or in Mutare, in Bulawayo. What does that? The government comes and demolish that infrastructure.
Why?
They are not building like what Smith used to do. They demolish infrastructures so that people will have the pain of their life. Why they do that? Because the people who are living in urban areas, so they are the ones who disvoted, who don't trust these governments because they are worked up. So the government wants to fix them.
And what would the government, people would ask, what would the government benefit from doing this to people? Smashing their houses, ruining things. Is it to penalize them? Is it to fix them, as you say?
Is to punish them, fix them, and is also to plant a seed in them so that they, when elections are announced, they will be the first people to queue in the lines of elections, because they use elections as camouflage to stay on power. They know that you line up as billions and thousands of yourselves there, as they've got a tally that Zimbabwean went for elections and there were about 10 million voters. That gives them a credit. When they do rigging, they went to election, 10 million participated in the vote. Any government in the world, it likes that turn up of citizens who comes to elections. What happens in the result of the elections? Look what Uganda did. They do the editing by the military votes. It's not the people who vote. It is the government citizens who vote and who gives the results of the elections, the military and the police.
In 20 years of your activism,
Yeah,
and all the work that you do, all the information you've gathered,
yeah,
Zimbabwe, Britain, all the things that bother you, all the things that motivate you,
yeah.
what is the way forward, Mr. Chinyanga? Is this issue too big for one person?
This issue, I cannot even say it on camera here, because it's an issue which can, if whatever I waffle, maybe can lead to arrest of protesters. That's why protesters are arrested. That's why the people like me, Mandela, even that Mugabe when he was good, they were arrested. Because the moment they do that roadmap, they become victims of the people, of the regimes. Because the regimes know that this one is going to complicate our stay. So when you do give such even situations like it, which I cannot even say, but I see my life until there is change in Zimbabwe. I see my life like the life of Mandela. The lifetime of Mandela was prison. That's where I will see my life be. I see my life as prison the way Mugabe was. I see my life like that because I will not be silent. Because I am a self-styled human rights activist. Who doesn't want bureaucracy? Who doesn't want injustice? I fight not even for Zimbabwe as in Zimbabwe, but I also fight for even Zimbabweans in Britain.
I understand
in immigration matters.
I understand you do a lot of work. Immigration, with helping people. Some people are struggling. Some people have had deceased people.
Yes.
They've had loved ones pass away here, or
Yeah.
they don't have the correct documents or papers, or you assist people. Basically, you're like a knight to these people.
Yes.
People call you as a last resort, and you're the first resort to help people, your own people, even British people. You're a teacher. You teach people. You're very intelligent. You're a physicist.
Yes, I think since 20 years I've been teaching in Britain. And the people I started teaching, some of them have got families, some of them are doctors, some of them are scientists. And they see me in the road, Mr. Chinyanga. One thing is, ever in Britain, any class which I taught, this is Chinyanga, I always receive an applause by every student. If any student is watching me, who I have taught in Britain, they will tell you that is Mr. Chinyanga. He stands for justice, and when he teaches, you understand what science is. They clap an ovation. That makes even other teachers to be jealous of.
So this same gratuity that you get from the hard work you've done, do you feel that you get the same from all the work you've done for your people? You do work for the British people, you fight for the rights for British people, for your own people, the Zimbabweans. Do you feel that is accepted well? Do you think people understand what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve? Do you think it's very easy for people to know Mr. Chinyanga is doing this?
One thing which I know is like the life of a person is celebrated when he's dead. That's when people start to know that this person did this, was like this, is like this. When you're alive, it's nothing, and I don't even expect that. I'm working for my place in paradise. I'm doing my duty for my place in paradise. The reward will be given in paradise by God.
And you've done a lot of work. You have made a lot of change in your own way. Where is Mr. Chinyanga today in 2021? What do you want to do, or what is your next move?
Right. Yeah. Before I go there, I can tell you some things which I have done, which I have found results in a way. I told you about when I did that protest of CIOs and they come out. There was a protest I do also at the Zimbabwean embassy. It's called Diaspora Feels It. What I mean diaspora feels, it's people of Zimbabwe who are in diaspora, who are in foreign lands. They feel what happens on the people who are on the ground. I'm not selfish. I know I am a teacher. I work. If I don't want to work, I just stay in my house. I get benefits. My children are catered for by the government of Britain, which is the British government. I thank the British government so much. But sometimes when it goes wrong, I can tell them that there is a mistake there, especially on the things of sanctions. That you don't give sanctions to the people of Zimbabwe. You need to disarm the dictator. help us to disarm the dictator. The way Gabo was removed in Ivory Coast by France, their former colony. Prince Charles is the one who removed the Union Jack flag. He is also the one who can also go there and say, when I gave you that country, it was like this. Now I'm hearing complaint. Prince Charles help us to settle this problem in Zimbabwe. And also, these sanctions are affecting poor citizens of Zimbabwe. You need to disarm the dictator. This is my voice. Disarm the dictator, not to give them sanctions. Sanctions affect us Zimbabweans.
Many people would say, we don't want Western help in Zimbabwe. We want Zimbabweans to deal with Zimbabwe. So when you are suggesting that somebody intervenes, people are saying, well, we don't want this help.
Thank you so much. That was
So what do you say?
That's a very good question. A very good question. I've told you before that I did what we call diaspora fuse it. I didn't finish that. On diaspora fuse it, that I lay flowers in the Zimbabwean embassy when somebody is killed in Zimbabwe. I go there, I buy flowers with my money. I call in a few people who like, even some people who live in Scotland. They say, Chinyanga, I want to come to lay flowers, but I don't have money. I take my money from there, I buy them a ticket to come to do that. I don't announce that I gave them ticket, they will be just there. I say, take a camera, the flowers are there, and we put the flowers. It's a British system. Like when there is an accident somewhere, someone dies, the British people, they've got the system of come and put flowers on that place. And I copied that, or I learned that, because I also buy flowers when I see an accident happen, or there is flowers which are laid on a roadside by road or someone, I also take flowers and I put the flowers there.
So you feel the pain, it doesn't matter if it's political, it doesn't matter if these things bother you as a human being. It's not only Zimbabwe that bothers you, it's not only, there are many things. Somebody dies here, you might not even have known the person, but you feel something inside of you.
A soul which has gone.
Do something.
It has gone. Life is precious. We've got people here who are shot, knife crimes, and these things happen near my house. Sometimes I go and confront police. I said, what happened? What can I do to help in this community?
To make it better.
What can I do? I lay my flower there. And I also do the same thing. When I used to lay flowers in the embassy, when they kill somebody in Zimbabwe, I found it was deteriorating. I put posters, everything on that embassy, in flowers, and they tell back to Zimbabwe that some British people are seeing what you are doing. Because British people who are walking in Strand Road near the embassy, they would come and read. They will also come with their candles, it will be a Saturday, and they go on their way having a memory of what is happening in Zimbabwe. I'll write that history. He was killed or she was killed like this, like this, like this. I plug them. This is who I am. I fight against injustice. I fight against people who kill other people. Life is important. I have seen somebody say, there are some things which are happening here, floods. And we are not going to put a rescue because it's just 2 people there. You don't tell me that. Every life matters. Anybody's life matters to me. I have gone to the airport while you were saying that I help immigrants. The British want to deport somebody else, and we know he is going to face trials and being killed by CIOs in Zimbabwe. What I do? No, let's go to the airport, let's help these people. Don't want. I go by myself. I stand at the line of air. I know I will ask you the details of the line. It's Kenya Airways. I just go on the line of Kenya Airways. I go with my big placard, even myself. Don't kill this person because he's going to be killed. Kenya Airways will be responsible for that. And before I go there, I will spend the whole day changing phones, calling Kenya Airways. Don't take this person in your airline. Don't take this person in your airline. My voice will be heard just like that. When I even stand in front of that Kenya Airways airline and doing that and putting that name, they will start to talk. Who is this person? And then if I given the chance, I'll tell the person to jump up in that airport, to be made in that aeroplane, not to go. For that, even giving that advice, it would be like sort of committing a crime in Britain. But to me, it would be not committing a crime. I'll be saving life. And this cannot be done by people who are NGOs, who are human rights activists as NGOs, who listen to a certain way that if you do this, we are not going to sponsor you. Me, I don't do it because of being of sponsorship. I do it for the care of life. And when I do it, I'll be crying. And when I cry, people say, he's an idiot. Just because my heart will be damaged for what I see, it will be too much for me in my life. It will be too much. So this is Chinyanga for you. And I use the muscles I have as that I'm in Britain. Thank that God brought me to Britain, and a country which has got freedom of speech, which has got democracy, where you can exercise your rights. I remember one other time, I went to the Zimbabwean embassy. They had abducted somebody called Itaizama. In the embassy called as many police you can. There was about 20 police officers. I've got a footage of that. About 20 police officers. And I asked some people to come and help in that. Some few individuals came and said, we are not getting into the embassy, Mr. Chinyanga. It is unacceptable. It is breaking the law of the British people to get in there. I said, breaking the law? We are saving life. We want Itai Zamara to be put there. We want Itai Zamara not to be killed by CIO. So what is your life of respecting a law when someone is dying? The chances are that I'm getting there. So I went inside the embassy, get in the embassy, and say every business you stop, we want Itai Zamara. Where is Itai Zamara? Then they called all their police, and I said, I've got immunity because I'm a Zimbabwean. This is Zimbabwean embassy. I was just, because I'm not a lawyer, so I copied it from Julia Asange. He went to hide in a certain embassy and they could not touch him. So I knew when I get in there, the other people who were with me, they didn't know that no one is going to touch me when I'm in the Zimbabwean embassy ground. And I come in until I told them, search everywhere, that's where he is. Ask that ambassador. Until the police had to search that embassy, look for everywhere, and they came to say, we can't see Itai Zamara there. So I think you are just voicing. I said, did you tell that ambassador that this embassy should not operate, because the people who are going to Zimbabwe, they will be abducted, even visitors. I was trying to guide. So I went there. I was not arrested. I was arrested when I came out of the embassy. That's when I get the chains. And to me, it was like a triumph. And I said, can you publish it to BBC that you are arresting me because I'm campaigning, I'm crying for an abducted person, I'm crying for life. Can you do that? Which I think they didn't do. So I might find I get in many troubles as an activist, as a self-styled human rights activist.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chinyanga. We'll have to continue this in another episode, in part 2. I know you have a lot to say. I really appreciate you coming over. And thank you very much.
Thank you.